There's a guy at the barbecue who feels a little sorry for you. He's leaning against his new truck, the big shiny one he's still got 4 years of payments left on, and he glances over at your old one, the one with the faded paint and 190,000 miles on the clock, and he gives you that look. That kind, slightly pitying look. He even says something nice about it, the way people do when they think you can't afford any better. Holding up well, huh? And you just smile and say, yeah, she runs fine, and you mean it, and you let him think exactly what he's thinking. Here's what he doesn't know. You could buy his truck with cash. You could buy his house with cash. You could probably buy most of the houses on this street and not feel it leave your account. You are, by any measure that actually counts, quietly, seriously, rich. And almost nobody standing in this backyard has the faintest idea, because you decided a long time ago that they never would. And that decision, the choice to stay invisible, is honestly one of the smartest things you have ever done with your money. So today I'm going to tell you exactly why. 5 reasons. From somebody who learned most of them the hard way and a couple of them the very hard way. Let's start with the first one, because it's the one that surprised me the most. Reason 1. The moment people find out, they stop seeing you and they start seeing the number. I want you to really sit with how strange this is, because it doesn't feel possible until it actually happens to you. You are the exact same person on Tuesday after they find out that you were on Monday before. Same jokes, same face, same heart. But you are not the same person to them anymore, and you can feel the switch flip. Now there's a little calculator running quietly behind their eyes every time they look at you. Now when you offer to grab the check, it means something it didn't used to mean. Now when you give somebody advice, they weigh it differently because clearly you must know some secret. Look at you. You stop being Ken, who's good with engines and tells a decent story. You become Ken, who has money. And the money walks into every room about half a second before you do, and it does all the talking before you've even said hello. The version of you that people actually loved gets quietly swapped out for a number, and here's the part that really gets me. They don't even know they're doing it. They can't help it. Money is just that loud. So you keep it quiet, and in exchange, you get to stay a person. Reason 2. The second people know, you quietly become a target, and not in the way you'd first expect. There's the obvious stuff, sure. People come asking. A cousin you haven't actually spoken to in 6 years suddenly remembers your birthday. And there's a warmth in the message that wasn't there before, and you just know what's coming 3 texts later. There's a business idea. There's always a business idea. It's going to be huge, and they'd hate to cut you out of the opportunity. They just need a little help getting it off the ground. And learning to say no to that over and over to people you genuinely care about while they look at you like you've changed, like you've gotten cold, when all you did was decline. That is one of the loneliest things money will ever quietly hand you. But honestly, that's not even the worst of it. The worst one is quieter than that. It's the resentment. Because the moment people know you have more than they do, some of them, and I mean good people, people who genuinely love you, start to feel just a little bit smaller standing next to you. And that small feeling, over time, it doesn't stay small. It curdles. It turns into something that isn't quite friendship anymore. They start keeping a quiet score. They notice what you have and what they don't. The easiness goes out of the room when you walk into it, and you didn't do anything. You didn't change, you just let them see the number. And the number did all the damage on its own, so you keep it private, and the friendships stay clean. Reason 3. And this is the one people understand the least, usually until it's already too late. You can always reveal it later. You can never, ever unreveal it. Sit with that one, because that right there is the whole game. Privacy only moves in one direction. Right now, today, standing in that backyard, you are holding something genuinely rare, which is the ability to choose. You can tell people whenever you decide you want to. The option is yours. But the day you actually tell them, that option is gone, instantly, forever. And it does not come back. You cannot put it back in the box. You can't make somebody unknow a thing. Once it's out, it is out. In every relationship you have permanently for the rest of your life. So ask yourself why on earth you'd spend something that valuable. Something you are only ever able to spend one single time, just to feel impressive at a dinner party for one evening. The quietly rich understand that their privacy is an asset, maybe the rarest, most irreplaceable one they own. And you do not burn an irreplaceable asset for a cheap little hit of admiration. You hold on to it. You keep the option open in your back pocket for the rest of your life. Because the option, kept, is worth so much more than the applause. Spent. Reason 4. The real flex, the one that almost nobody ever talks about, is the flex of not flexing at all. Here's a secret about money that genuinely took me years to fully understand. Showing it off is almost always a sign that you only just got it. The loud car, the watch worn with the face turned out so the whole room can catch it, the 1,000 little signals dropped constantly, casually, on purpose. That is nearly every time the behavior of a person who is still trying to prove something, and usually the person they're trying hardest to prove it to is themselves. But there's a deeper kind of rich, and it's a quiet one, and it runs in the complete opposite direction. It's the freedom of not needing one single person on the planet to know. It's standing at that barbecue in a $12 t-shirt, knowing full well you could buy the entire property out from under everybody, and feeling absolutely zero urge to mention it, because the comfort is already sitting inside you, and a comfort that's truly inside you doesn't need an audience to be real. Needing other people to know you're rich is when you look right at it. Its own quiet kind of poverty. Because it means the money alone isn't actually enough for you. You also need the looks on their faces to complete it. But when you honestly don't care whether they know or not, when the security is just quietly, privately yours, that is a genuine freedom that the loud guy with the shiny new truck will most likely never feel. Not for one moment, no matter what that truck ended up costing him. And then reason 5. Which is the one that actually matters more than the other 4 put together, the one everything else has just been building toward. Keeping it quiet is how you find out who actually loves you. Because when nobody knows, every single person standing in your life is standing there for you. The real you, the one with the old truck and the faded pain and the decent stories. Nobody is calculating. Nobody is positioning themselves. Nobody is being just a touch nicer than they actually feel because of something you might one day do for them. The love you get is clean. It is real. It is about exactly who you are, and not 1 cent about what you have. And there is no amount of money anywhere on this earth that can buy you that. In fact, the money is the very thing that puts it most at risk. That's the cruel little joke buried inside getting rich. The wealth itself can quietly poison the one single thing you most wanted it to protect, which was always the people. Unless you keep it quiet. Unless you let them go right on loving the person instead of ever meeting the number. The quietly rich aren't hiding it because they're ashamed of it, or paranoid, or cheap, whatever people assume. They're hiding it because they worked out, sometimes painfully, that the privacy is the exact thing that keeps the love honest. And the honest love was always the actual point of all of it. So that's your 5. They stop seeing you and start seeing the number. You quietly become a target. You can never take it back once it's out. The real flex is the silence, and the quiet is the only thing that keeps the love real. But underneath all 5 of them, there's really just one single idea, and here it is. You never actually wanted the money so that you could be seen as rich. You didn't, even if for a while there you genuinely thought you did. What you actually wanted, the whole entire time, was the thing the money was supposed to hand you on the other side. Peace. Freedom. The ability to quietly take care of the people you love. A life that finally feels light instead of heavy. And here's the strange, backwards truth that almost nobody ever tells you. Announcing the money is the single fastest way to lose every last one of those things. The peace, the freedom, the clean and honest relationships. All of it survives on privacy and dies in the spotlight. Show the whole world your number, and you trade away every bit of it permanently for a few short seconds of looking impressive. And that, when you really see it clearly, is just about the worst trade a person can make. So you keep the old truck. You wear the cheap shirt. You let the guy at the barbecue go right on feeling a little sorry for you, and you let him, gladly, because his pity costs you absolutely nothing, and your privacy is worth nearly everything. You smile. You grab a burger off the grill, and you stand there, quiet, owning your entire life, and not one person in that backyard has any idea. And that exact feeling, right there, that is what being rich was actually supposed to feel like, the whole time.